hate the smell of cigarette smoke. Hey there friends, what's going on? David Potts with Song Notes here, and I want to show you how to play the song Wilder Days by Morgan Wade from her debut album. This has been a song that's been on repeat in my house all summer long, and to accompany this, I have this key of C cheat sheet I made. This is an 8-page PDF. I recently made this, and this song is in the key of C, and this cheat sheet will help you, whether we're talking about the chords, right? The C, the D minor, the E minor, the F, the G. This song uses all of those chords, as well as the A minor, of course. And also for the F chord, in my cheat sheet, you'll find a bunch of ways to play the F that don't require the 6-string bar, right? I'm never really barring the F for this song at all, so a lot of what you're gonna see in this cheat sheet will help you with this song and any other song that uses the F chord. And we also have this idea of sort of one finger flourish, as I call it, right? Where a lot of the riffs that you hear in this song, Wilder Days, are gonna involve taking your finger off the chord and then putting it back on. You can do it for the C, like I just did. You can do it for the F chord. And then this is exactly what Morgan Wade is doing in this song. You know, she's pairing it with this sort of strumming pattern I'll show you. Right, but it's one finger, on and off the chords. It makes a great sound. Let's dive on in. I'll start with the intro riff and get into the verse, chorus, and all that stuff, and show you what you can do to learn this song. But get that key of C cheat sheet over at my website, and let's hop on in and learn this one. Wilder Days by Morgan Wade. Let's go. All right, so let's dive into this distinctive intro riff. It's going to use a C chord and an F chord. And for the F, I'm only playing the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. For the C, I'm playing the middle 4 strings. Look how similar these two voicings are, right? My index finger is staying still on both strings, both chords, that is. And these two fingers are sort of always diagonal from each other, right? In the C and in the F, they're always on the same fret, they're always diagonal from each other. It makes this transition nice and easy, all right? Now, the thing that Morgan Wade's doing in this intro is the first time she plucks each of these chords, her middle finger is lifted, and then she pushes it back down. Same for the F. This is a distinctive little sound she gets here. And then what she's also doing, which makes it so handy, is she's sort of doing these pulses of 3 and then 5. And what I mean by that is sort of if you mute the strings first, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a rhythm you're really going to want to get comfortable with and sort of feel it in your hand. Practice it when you're not strumming any of the chords yet, or you're not fretting any of the chords. Get the idea. You know, if you're patting your leg or patting your stomach, your chest. This is really important for this entire song. Now, what we're going to do when we look at this little tab for the riff here is we're going to basically play the chord, but on the first strum of each cluster. The first strum in our cluster of 3 and the first strum in our cluster of 5, we're going to have our middle finger lifted. So that would sound like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the F would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can, try to give that strum on the 1 count, a little bit more oomph, a little bit more emphasis. That's the C and F. That little emphasis really helps kind of give that little push, a little drive to it, a little bit of a feeling, right? If everything is the same and consistent, it can sound a bit dry, right? You want to give it some character. So that's what she's going to be doing in the intro. She's going to do 2 measures of the C chord, right? And then 2 measures of the F chord. And then when we get to the actual verse, you can, if you want, continue that riff, right? And do it while you're singing, of course. Now, really quick, before I get to the chord progression of the verse and talk about all that, you also on the A minor, we're also going to need the A minor chord. You could do the same thing if you take your finger off the 3rd string. We're going to get to this E minor, and you could do the same thing as well. So keep those in mind. You basically use the same 3 and 5 clusters I showed you. But let's look at this verse now and talk about how to strum this. Now, The strumming pattern I recommend doing is going to be all down strums for the verse. It's going to be all 8th note down strums. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's not the directions of the strum to give the character here. It's really where the accents are. We're strumming all the 8th notes, and it's really going to be those accents on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you could count it like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you could count it with the actual 8th notes themselves, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Those are 3 different ways to count it. They all effectively produce the same sound. So you want to sort of use what feels comfortable to you. I like to think of it as a cluster of 3 and then a cluster of 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's what it's going to sound like if we strum all the verse chords and we use that sort of pattern, right? So, ready, and F, A minor, then to F, tell me every little secret in your mind. E minor, come on baby, there's nothing but time. A minor, I'm too good for you. F, I say I'm too good for you. Right, then to G. Now the G, we're going to change things up here. We're going to use this little tab here. Okay, that's a down, down, up, down, up, down. And what we're going to be doing is I'm using this 2-finger voicing of the G, where I have my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string and pinky up here. And I'm sort of muting this 5th string. I'm not pushing it down. I'm not pushing it down that much. I'm just touching it so it mutes the string. And then I put these 2 fingers down where they would normally go for a C major chord, right? Take a C major chord, move your ring finger to the 6th string, put your pinky on the 1st string. And that's what we're going to do for the G. So if we do the last 6 measures of the verse, right? A minor to the F, and here comes the G. And then you let it ring there on that last strum of the G on the 1 count. And then you said you hate the smell of cigarette smokes, and we start the chorus. Now for the chorus strumming, I like to sort of change it up, and there's a few different options you have, right? One option is you could keep going with the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just get a bit more heavy and voluminous with it, right? You also could do a 3, 3, 2 pattern, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I find that a nice way to sort of dial it up a little bit. You also could do the 3, 3, 2 pattern, but sort of do it all with constant up and down strums, right? So that would be down, up, 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 down, up. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. So I'm accenting every 1 count. And yet another pattern you could do for the chorus is what I call the backbeat strum, where you're going to do constant down and up strums, but we're going to sort of do our accents on the 2 and the 4 count, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And this is a nice sort of driving rock beat. I like this for the chorus of the song because it mixes it up from the verse, which is all down strums. So the chorus would sound like, you said you hate the smell of cigarette smoke. You only used to smoke when you drink. When you lived in Chicago, wind blow. F, I said you known you in your wilder days. And again, C, then to E minor again. Next to A minor, la da 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 da. To F, I wish I'd known you in your wilder days. Right? And you go to 2 measures to C before you start things again. Then you get back to that verse. The way you put your hands across my body, Now, the one thing I haven't taught you yet is the bridge of this song. D minor for 2 measures, F for 2 measures, D minor for 2 measures, and then G. So for the strumming of this one, you could do what you like. I'll just sort of do a light version. You just want the contrast. You don't want to do the same level of strumming every time, right? Like when you were a little wilder, why don't you show me, why don't you show me what you were like when you got a little high, just for the night, just for the night. You said you hate the smell of cigarette smoke. Okay, so that's gonna basically do it for you. You have all these strumming patterns you can use. And then you have the chord progressions here. The chord progressions are pretty, they use a lot of chords, like 6 different chords, but they're all the standard chords in the key of C. And it's really about you finding strumming that, number one, you feel comfortable with, but number two, you can mix up between the verse and the chorus. So it's not the same level of strumming every time, right? Full strums during the chorus, but then back to the sort of, maybe you do a little bit of a palm mute, right? Chorus. Right, so the accented strumming becomes a very important part of this song. But that's basically all you're going to want to keep in mind for that. Again, check out the key of C cheat sheet I've made you, just because I have all these different ways to play the F, whether you want to do just this 3-string version. You know, if you leave the open 5th string and open thin 1st string, that's fine, right? You also could do, well, when you're doing the hammer-on, you don't want to do the bar because the hammer-on won't really work. So you really want to do either this 3-string F, or you can do this 4-string F that I like, right? It's kind of like an F over C. Works really well also. So that key of C cheat sheet is going to be helpful for you here. There's all kinds of fun songs that use this stuff in that cheat sheet, this one included. But I hope this was helpful for you. Again, check out my website, playsongnotes.com, to find out many other lessons. You can get that key of C cheat sheet, and you can learn all kinds of other stuff from me as well. So thanks very much for watching, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this one. This has been, again, one of my favorite songs of this past summer. It's been on repeat in my house. I got to see Morgan Wade live, actually, with Willie Nelson just a few miles from my house. It was the musical highlight of my summer, perhaps. So I'm really excited, and I wanted to teach this song. It's just so good, so good. Didn't see many lessons on YouTube. Wanted to share it. Thanks very much for watching, y'all, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.